Welcome back to Just Drive It. Today we are installing the timing chain, the fuel eccentric, and the timing cover. So come along with us. Okay, so we are currently not going to pull out the engine for further work currently because my dad has his A-frame out over a different car with an engine. So we are going to work on the timing cover, and the reason being is because it's one of the only things that we can do currently without pulling up the engine.
For which one? It's going to be a ½ inch. It's going to be your purple one right there. Try to keep those two together with that pointer. That way they don't get separated. And there's your piece down there.
Yeah.
All right, you're also going to have two more on the back of the cover right here on the inside.
Yeah.
If anything, you may need a ½ inch wrench to get to those.
Okay.
If they're not finger tight. Are they finger tight?
Yeah, they are.
All right. What do you know? Really good at math, but he's still good at... It fell right there beside the battery.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
With his other stuff. Okay. Is it movable?
Like this? Oops.
Okay. You may just... Hey.
Yeah.
You may just get inside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like inside where this is.
Oh, okay.
See, that's one of the nice things about these older cars. You can actually get in there.
Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this one.
And you can do a shorter extension if you want.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Let me see if I can find a shorter extension. Here's a shorter extension.
Let's see.
You feel it?
Yeah. I think these are finger tight as well.
They should be. We only put them on finger tight. The one right next to it should also end up being a 7/16. So use the ratchet or the extension along with the socket might help you. Take it off the ratchet.
Oh.
You see how you got knurling on it?
Yeah. Let's see if I can get this out. No.
You got it in your face?
I'm good.
Is that easier?
Yep. There we go.
All right, set that one to the side. Make sure you know where it's at.
Yeah, I know where the next one. Let's see.
All right, so now go ahead and try to see if that that lower yeah, there we go. The balancer's off. And there you go. As you can see, somebody's had issues before with grinding their eccentric into that by putting the wrong one on, but that's how things go. So this is what you would see on an injected motor with just this piece here versus the eccentric. And what we've actually bought is the eccentric, this 2-piece, and it's set up, it's 2 distinct pieces for going into this particular one here. Go ahead. You can go ahead and pull that one all the way out. You want to hold on to that bolt though, because you are going to want that bolt. I'm not sure if it came in that kit or not. Actually, it looks like it did come in the kit, but that's good. Set it off to the side. Alright. Now the thing is, when it comes time to take this off, you're going to have to slide this piece, and you're also going to have to slide this piece off. But before you do that, let's stop for a second. Since we've got pressure on the push rods and everything, what we're going to do is look over here. Somewhere along here, right there in this case, there's a little dent, right? And you see this right here? There's another dent right there. We're going to want to turn this to where these two line up perfectly, straight up and down. So, what you're going to do, you see the keyway on here?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold this up to where you can see down this.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. You see the keyway right there?
Yes.
You see the keyway here?
Yes.
That's got to line up. All right, so now you don't have to go in too much, as long as it's going to grab that. So you're going to want to turn it counterclockwise. See if it'll turn. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So you're going to turn that until this one's at 12 o'clock and that one's at 6 o'clock. See?
Yeah. Now if you'll just let me turn it again.
All right, I'll stop and help you here.
All right.
So we slide that back off. Hold it, hand it to me. Put this off to the side. Go ahead. Even though this isn't a lot of slop, it is some slop, and I want to put a better timing chain on there. So you're going to have to take and slide the bottom piece and the top piece together.
Okay.
Slide it a little bit on the bottom.
Okay.
Is it slid?
No. I don't think it wants to.
All right.
Here we go again.
R. Yeah, it was sliding earlier. Let's get in there. We'll come back in a second. Okay, one of the reasons why we wanted to get rid of this is if you actually look, this is actually a Ford part number. That's an E3, so that's a 83. So D would be 70, so 83 AE. So this is an actual Ford part. This may actually be the original timing chain off that engine, which could be good. But in our case, we're going to go with something better. We're going with something newer. That's an actual known item there. He's cleaned up a little bit around in there. The other thing we're going to be doing is he's going to be changing out the seal in this cover here. Since this is a C8, so that's a 68 cover. It's got a little bit different seal, but thankfully I got a set of seals the other day and have that one extra. Okay, this is the brand and type of timing set that my engine builder usually uses on our engines, and he swears by them. One of the good things about this is if you want to go in there, you can actually advance or retard. This is advance, or you can set it up at top dead center. If we go over here to the R, it'll actually retard 4 degrees. If we go over here, it'll actually advance the cam 4 degrees. We're going to go in at top dead center because by this point they should have already taken out the problems with the retarded timing that they'd used to do. And this is about to go back in. Okay, you still got to keep it lined up.
I understand.
And you've got to push that bottom piece in. You can't just hold the top. You're going to have to push the bottom too.
Okay.
What you can do is actually push the bottom on for a ways until you get real close and then line everything up. See, that's where it gets tricky. You can feel it, and you're going to have to go on the center piece and the dowel, but you're still going to have to slide the bottom piece in. You got to have it in enough at the bottom to keep pushing it, otherwise you're going to get in a bind. Yeah. You're going to have to wiggle it just a little bit. All right. Go ahead and set back for a second. And let's see how close you got it. Looks like you got it pretty good. All right. We're going to make sure we got it down right, and then we'll come back with you. Now, something you'll see on the earlier engines is this oil slinger. Since the timing cover and stuff that came off of the engine that we pulled it off of had that on there, we're putting it back in. The later model engines actually will not have that slinger on there, and they leave it totally out. But with us, it takes and helps out a little bit with the seal, and it just makes it a little bit better, as we put it from time to time. Our next step will be to install the eccentric, and we'll come back with that in a minute. Now, these days, I know it's kind of been a lot of people going out of their way these days to actually smash and bash comp cams, but this is a comp cams kit. It's an engine finishing kit, and what we end up coming up with is fuel pump eccentric, washer, bolt, your extra Woodruff keys, which are these right here, different dowels that you may need for the engine. Woo! The bolts here are actually for the retainer plate for your cam, and this is actually the proper length dowel to go into your camshaft to set it up for this one here. Since we already have the right one, we didn't have to change that out, but that's what's going to be going on next. Now, if you look at the eccentric, the reason they call it an eccentric is because it's not drilled dead center. If it was drilled dead center, it'd be drilled here. With it being offset, it gives an oblong travel, and by doing that, that's what actually moves the push rod on the fuel pump. This rides on it, and it actually pushes it up and down since it's oblong, and that's where you get your pump action. On the later model engines, when they went to EFI, they no longer needed an eccentric, but there are actually two types of eccentrics. I have one here, and I may have another one over here off to the side. I'll go grab it real quick. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the early model solid eccentric and the later model two-part. In this case, the tab actually kicks in, whereas before, the dowel actually helped locate this. The other thing you can see is there's actually a height difference. Now, you won't tell it as much right here because of the dowel, but now that you see it, you can see why if you put the wrong timing set with the wrong cover, you get the little striations like this in your timing cover. So you got to be careful which one you go to. You have to measure. Never take anything for granted. So our next move is we're going to install this, get our gasket surfaces nice and cleaned up, get this out. I know we should have cleaned up the outside of the block before this, but we'll get this together, clean the outside of the block up real good, and actually get it painted at another date. But here we go.
So right now I'm going to go ahead and put this in, but first I'm going to put this thread locker like glue all around the tip here so that when I stick it in, it'll stay in real good.
So that it won't back out?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and put your thread locker on there first.
Right. If any of this Okay, that way.
All right, that should be good.
Alright. Oh, my bad.
Hold on, hand me the bottle.
Mhm.
Put this back on. I need it for a couple other things.
Mhm.
Okay, grab your eccentric.
Yes.
Locate it in the dowel. The little tab in the dowel. Now you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here.
We're going to tighten that down and torque it.
Let me just. There.
No, yeah, good. That's good. You're going right.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to second guess me.
Hold on. You want that socket straight, not angled. All right, and we'll go ahead and torque that off of camera. Okay, we've got this just generally tightened in there. We've got the new gasket in place. You can see it sticking out over there. What we're actually going to end up doing is we're going to line up the balancer in that hole and let it center this cover and then tighten it down, instead of just tighten it down and making the balancer center to it. That will wear out your lower seal, which we just changed. So that's what we're going to next. Okay, so what you should see very clearly here is the numbers, or here are the numbers marking top dead center here, 10 degrees after, 10 degrees before, 20 degrees before, 30 degrees before top dead center. So in our case, what we've found is, based off of this marker, we're in between a half or just right at top dead center. So we're going to take and tighten this back up just a little bit without moving the engine to help center this. We got help from Judah now that he's got his schoolwork done for the day. And you're going to see that it looks like we are about a degree off on this pointer. Now we can move it around a little bit. We'll see how it goes. These are tightened up. He's tightening up the top ones there. And we're getting ready to just do a few more things, like install the new fuel pump with a gasket. Or we may hold off on that, just put the old one back there for a minute, because we are going to have to clean up this block and paint it. We've got a nice new bottle of paint. I normally go for the dark Ford blue. They have an old Ford blue, and they have just a Ford blue. But this one seems to match those valve covers, and they like this color, so this is the color that we're actually going with instead of the dark, which I'm not against. It'll be a nice little change. So here we go.
So we just changed out the timing chain, the fuel pump eccentric, the timing cover, and the fuel pump out of the engine. You can see there.
So,
Like, subscribe, Rumble if you're on Rumble, and we'll see you on the next one.
Just drive it. So currently we are not removing the engine because my dad currently has the A-frame over some other car with the engine. So we are going to work on the timing cover and all that.
and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So why are you working on the timing cover specifically?
I have a good reason.
See, Lynn? They do actually do work. Just drive it.
Alright, time chain, the fuel pump eccentric, the time cover, and the... what was it? Alright, time chain, the fuel pump eccentric, the time cover, and the fuel pump all have been in changed out. Pretty much. Hesitating there. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Alright, time chain, the fuel pump